that was satisfying, wasn't it? Now, before we jump into this video, please do make sure you subscribe to us and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any future uploads. And also follow us on all the different social media platforms coming up on the bottom of your screen right now. Now, although having something as flashy as this to put your rods on won't catch you more fish, it certainly looks better when you're blanking, and that's exactly where Decoy Angling have come in today with this lovely 3-rod setup I've got with me. Now, there's loads of different things available in their range, from 3-rod setups, 2 rods, whether it's T-bars, goalposts or whatever, but I'm going to go through the exact setup I've got with me today. With me today is a 3-rod T-bar setup, but it can also be set up in a goalpost configuration, because at the end of each of these crossbars you have these little caps which you screw off. And as you would have seen in the intro, everything is just machined to precision. Nothing rattles, it goes on smoothly. And here you can see the exposes a thread. So I could then have a bank stick here and a bank stick on the other side to make it a goalpost setup, make it really, really stable. But as you can see at the moment, I'm using just the bank sticks. That's really solid as it is. But the front is even more solid because I got the stabilizer, which I'll get onto in a second. And whilst I've got the cap off, it's worth noting that these are the adjustable buzz bars. So if I get the Allen key I've got in my pocket, you go underneath here, through in between the thread, there's a little grub screw which that slots into, loosen that off, and as you can see, I can then slide that up and down. So if you're one of those, I've seen a photo before, someone had all their rods like this and the reels are bunched up round. If I can find said image, I might insert it, but I think that looks pretty stupid. But you can adjust it, so if you want to have them tight with the back and spray your rods out the front, you can do, or have them as wide as they possibly go, like I've pretty much got them today, you can do. Now, as you can see at the moment, that's able to spin round, but on the very bottom side of this T-bar, or this goalpost, buzz bar, sorry, is a milled section, so it's just ever so slightly flattened on the bottom. So when I start to tighten that grub screw, like so, it's now tight to where I want it. Oh, a little bit more, like so. That's nice and tight. It's locked in position, and that no longer can go forward or backwards. It's solid upright, so there's no risk of it going lopsided. So that's really nice that it's got that feature. You can move them about, but once you've locked them into position, they are nice and snug. And of course, I then put the little cap back on, just keeps everything clean more than anything, and also neatens it all off. So you can use it as single T-bars like I have today, or with a goalpost setup, as I've already mentioned. And then if we move down onto the actual sticks themselves, these are made of an anodized aluminium, and then it's finished off with stainless steel finishes. So you've got the thumb screw here, the actual thread itself at the top section, and the, well, I'm not sure exactly what you call it, where it's the equivalent of a spigot on a rod, I suppose. That's stainless steel, and you've also got a stainless steel screw or spiral end to it, so you can really get it into hard grounds. This morning, or where I'm fishing today, it's a really, really tough ground, so you really need to push it down using as much force as you can and twisting it in, and it will eventually go in. And it's nice to have that stainless steel screw to help you do that. And these bank sticks are available in either 10, 12 or 16 inches in length. Going back to the buzz bars as well, they're available in either the 2-rod or 3-rod configurations, and available from 3 inches all the way up to 13 inches. So the 3-inch ones are going to be for those of you that are really tired to have them nice and close together. Probably more likely to be with the 2-rod adjustables, but 3-rod adjustables as well. These ones, I'm guessing, are somewhere in between. I'm not sure the exact ones they've sent me, but they look to be probably around the 7 inches and 8 inches at the front, something like that. But as it's fully adjustable, I could make them narrower if I like, or as wide apart as I have got them at the moment. And the material used on these buzz bars, as well as the little fittings on the bank sticks as well, and the buzz bars, the stabilizers, everything else, is 316 stainless steel, and everything is machined and manufactured in the UK by professionals. So you can be rest assured that all the materials used are of the utmost quality, and the finish is also absolutely on point. If we jump to the front, you'll see that that bank stick has a stabilizer in position. That's because I can actually get it through this tough ground without a mallet, and I'm not a big advocate of using mallets, so I didn't even bring one. Couldn't get one in the back because it's just so firm, but I have managed to get the stick in with a good bit of force. That's another great thing about having stainless steel materials, is that you can put a lot of force on them and they shouldn't bend. Obviously, if you're really going for it on really wide sticks, you may start to bend them, but you'd be very hard pressed to bend something this thick and strong that's this narrow in length. So I was able to push that down into the ground nicely. But you can get, again, 316 stainless steel stabilizers, and really refined, again, as you would have saw from the intro, just how fine-tuned, putting those bank sticks into there. Everything's snug, nothing rattles around, and then it just secures up with the thumb screw on the left, and on the right you've got a fully adjustable little screw again for the actual peg that goes into the ground. Again, stainless steel. So everything that you've got with these parts, they're never going to break down. They'll probably last more time on the bank than you will yourself. And that really has helped at the front. As you can see, I've got the stick in fairly far, but then I've put these stabilisers in and that's not going anywhere. A little beat there because I've shaken it quite a lot, but there is absolutely no way, the most violent of takes, the worst weather conditions, that those are going to fall off anywhere. That is absolutely rock solid into the ground. So that's a really nice addition as well that you can get hold of. And you may also notice I've got these snag ears at the rear. Now these, they screw in sort of, so use your bite alarm thread, goes onto that, and then you screw your bite alarms down in, and then you can choose which side you have the snag ear. So at the moment I've got the left rod down in the margins. If that goes off, I am probably going to need that snag ear because it's going to pull to the left, and I've positioned that snag ear to the left of the alarm. The middle rod is going straight out, but that one, again, I could change it either side. If I was fishing on more of an angle, I could change it, and then the right one I've got set up if I was allowed to use a third rod on this venue, which I can't. I did for a few shots earlier, just put a lead in the margin so I could get this how it looks with 3 rods, but I've got the snag ear on the right hand side. Again, can move it around. These snag ears are fully adjustable, so if I just undo this thumb screw, I can remove the snag ear all the way down, and as you can see, quite a large snag ear, so you can fully adjust this depending on the height of your alarm, and you can take them off nice and easily during transit. Now, one thing I've probably just realised as I'm filming this, I may actually have these around the wrong way. I've got them around this way so that the sort of slightly larger bottom is at the base so that it can't slide up any further, but I have a feeling if I did it the other way around, like so, you've then got the sort of slightly wider top, which would stop your rod from ever being able to go over the top. So I may actually have these round the wrong way for filming, but I guess that's for your own choice. You can have it so it's nice and slimline at the top with the wider section at the bottom, or have it round this way, which I think I've realised as filming is probably the way round it should be. But just so I make it the same as all the others, I'm going to flip that back round, put it how I've got the rest. Apologies, Decoy, if I've done that wrong, but I've just admitted it, and I'll show some shots from around the other way as well. So that's the stainless steel snag ears. So all the components, it doesn't matter what you're going for, whether it's the crossbars, the Banksticks, or the stabilizers, or the snag ears, it's all of the highest grade stainless steel they can get their hands on and machined to the very best they can. Really nice bit of kit. And one other thing they sent me in the post the other day when I was filming all of this was a weed lead. Now, I wasn't quite sure how to get this into the same video as this, but I can tell you there are other things in their range that are stainless steel, and this is a weed rake. So it's nice and aerodynamic. Weight-wise, I'd say that's probably around the 3.5, 4 ounce mark. And you've got these prongs, of course, to bring in as much weed as possible without making it too bad that you're never going to get your lead back. And being stainless steel, that's never going to degrade. It's not going to break down. It's going to be up to the task of being used repeatedly in harsh conditions, bringing in lots of weed. Now, the venues I fish don't really have any weed, and it is the tail end of winter. So even if I did go to a weedy venue, odds are there's not going to be much of it about. So I can't really show this in action, but I can assure you it's of just as high a quality as everything else I've shown you today. Now, as for the prices, there are quite a lot in the range, so forgive me when I get my phone out so I don't get any of these wrong, but there's quite a lot to go through. So if you go for a 2-rod T-bar range, they range from 46 to 64 for a pair, and of course that's going to be relative to the actual width you're going for. 2-rod 3-thread range, which is the one that can be used as either a T-bar setup like this or goalposts, they come from 66 to 84 for a pair, or the 2-rod goalpost range from 56 to 74 for a pair. Then we're moving on to the 3 rods, which is what you're most likely going to be looking at if you're liking the look of this setup, and a lot of places are 3 rods now. A 3-rod T-bar range will range from 52 to 70 for a pair. 3-rod 3-thread range, which is what I've got with me today, ranges from 72 to 90 for the pair, and the 3-rod goalpost range comes from 62 to 80 for the pair. And then we move on to the Banksticks. As I said, there was 10, 12 or 16. They come in at $27.95, $29.95 and $31.95. And onto the adjustable stabilizers, you've got $24.95 for one of these, and then the snag ears, $27.95 for one, and the weed rake lead comes in at $17.95. So it's quite pricey for a lead, but if you're using this on a dedicated setup to bring in the weed, odds are you're using the heaviest grade line you can, so there's no chance of you losing this unless one of your knots is a bit dodgy. So it's worth the investment for something that's going to last a long time, as long as you don't lose it from personal negligence. So that's everything that they've been sent to me today. Hopefully I'll get my hands on a few more things in the future, because there's a lot more in their range, and not just bankware stuff like this. There's lots more on their website, so do head over there. If you like what you see here and think, I wonder what else they do in their range, do check out their website and maybe pick up your own set as well, because they are lovely bits of kit. That's it from me for now, so I hope you enjoyed this video and got some more information about decoy angling and these items. Please do like the video if you did, and subscribe to us if you haven't done so already. I'm going to go and sit back over there and watch these rods for a few more hours, because it looks nice looking at them, and I really don't want to leave on yet another blank. I'm on a very bad run at the moment. I'm not happy. Oh, my knees.